This match in the 1999 AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by AAMI, Cadbury, Ultratune and Sip and Save.
Well, a moment to savour in Sydney, with Tony Lockett claiming the record as the game's greatest ever goal kicker. At the MCG, Port Adelaide North has just started, so we leave the SCG and head to Melbourne for that game.
And at this stage, we welcome viewers in South Australia through SAS with the news that Port Power have won the toss. They're kicking to the right, and Bowen Lockwood in the opening minute or so has got them away to a flying start with Mick McGuan. As I welcome you and Drew Morford to our telecast, a very good goal.
Yeah, certainly a very good goal. The free kick was rewarded because he played in front. Lockwood is an exciting talent and kicked truly.
So Bowen Lockwood's first kick for the season is a goal, and Porter in front. Bounce in the middle, a centre square infringement, and it's going to be North Melbourne's or Kangaroos free kick.
Yeah, it looked like it was against Shane Brewer, who was lined up at centre-half forward, picked up by John Blakey. There's his opponent now.
McKernan takes it quickly, off to Blakey. His kick inside the 50. Carey contests, but can't come down with the mark. Wilson, a little hand pass. Stevens on his bike. The kick short of centre wing, and it's marked out there by Schofield. Back to Stevens. Over centre wing, and Brewer takes the mark. Port have started pretty well. They've been in a hell of a slump lately. Eagleton's kick very wide as he was pulled off his kick just as he was delivering it, and it's out of bounds on the 50.
Yeah, there's some interesting matchups too, Drew. Centre-half forward for the Kangaroos. Paxman is picking up Wayne Carey. Kent Kingsley is playing his first game today. He's picked up by Daniels. Also, Jason McCartney's got the job on Warren Treadray at centre-half forward. Archer's picking up Chalmers, who lined up in the forward pocket. And Mickey Martin has got the job on Brendan Lade, who started at full forward.
We've reached the expected top in Melbourne, 17 degrees. A fantastic day here at the MCG. Port, who have lost 5 out of their last 6 games, have started pretty well and lead the Kangaroos at the moment, and we've been playing 3.5 minutes.
Yes, Port currently standing at 4 wins and 5 losses. Made a very positive start with 3 straight wins. Bell, excellent in the state of origin. Gets a high kick back towards centre wing. Bond unable to take the mark. Burgoyne is there as well for the power. And there's Scholl for the Kangaroos.
Sandy, interchange bench for Port Adelaide is Donald Dickey, Jared Polden, Nathan Steinberner and Stuart Jew.
Thanks, Couchy. Barnaby French, Corey McKernan. McKernan finding form, and French being asked to do a lot because of some severe injuries. Treadray did well to gain front spot, but then was unable to complete the mark. King defends well, as he always does. Off he goes to Anthony Stevens, and the little boy from Shepparton kicks it up towards half forward. The Roos go into their attacking zone. It's a bad bounce for Brewer. Good one for the Kangas. The hand pass comes the way of Blakey. He goes wide of the Pike. Martin Pike on the left foot, passes in towards half forward. Almost thrown out towards Simpson. He's got to go again, and there will be a ball up on the 50. That little flick out, I think, came from Scotty Welsh, who came dashing through. All to no avail. Simpson unable to take it. And so a bounce just on 50. Seemed to come off McKernan's head. Stevens onto the left foot by Anthony Stevens. Away to the left and one behind. Not a huge crowd here today at the MCG.
Sandy, the interchange bench for the Kangas is Matthew Capuano, Shane Clayton, Brady Rawlings and Shane Motlop.
Shane Motlop. Shannon Motlop, good luck to him from North Adelaide, playing in his first game. Both he and Kent Kingsley, 2 20-year-olds that the Kangaroos have brought in. We wish them well.
Interesting that they could find room for 2 newcomers who have won their last 5 games straight. Here's a free kick, pushing the back. There's certainly no doubt about that against Harwood. Chance for the Kangaroos. Scholl spins out of and back into trouble. They've lost it. Eagleton goes back with the hand pass. Bond, half-distance pass is good. Into midfield. Kingsley. Burgoyne drawing a man. Stevens going past. He drew the man who fell over David King. Burgoyne still going. Approaches the 50. Great run by Peter Burgoyne. Long to full forward. Chance right in front. And the mark dragged down by Treadray.
Yeah, that's a terrific run. Most clubs in the competition have got a rule that if the player decides to take the ball forward of centre and bounce the ball, you must use the ball very effectively on the way through. On that occasion, Burgoyne was a player that took upon himself to to actually balk two Kangaroos players. He assessed his option, kicked to the hot spot area of the ground, and there was Treadray, who took a well-judged mark in front of his opponent and Jason McCartney.
20 goals for the season, right in front. That's now 21.
When the world is the target and the threat is real,
GoldenEye exists.
you can still depend on one man.
Bond. James Bond. Shaken, but not disturbed.
This time, 007 is facing the ultimate enemy. The man who knows him best, 006.
I was always better.
Get a bang out of Bond. Pierce Brosnan.
Beg your pardon? Forgot to knock.
GoldenEye, tonight on 7.
Terrific start by the Power. Goals to Treadray and Lockwood. French again to lock arms with McKernan. Burgoyne, however, sends the Power down towards the 50 once again. Franco, oh, he's an excitement machine. Gets ripped off the kick and it spills to Martin Pike. Kicks blindly and high and wide. Out towards Stevens and McKernan. Bang, they crash into each other. Down they go. Here's Winston Abraham. Got a decent old ride against the Power in Canberra. Kicked the goal of the year. Here he goes with Fabian Francis. Still Abraham. Eventually gets it out. That was well done. Finding Peter Bell, who runs out of room. But in the meantime, we've got a free kick. And it's going to go the way of Winston. Kangaroo fans enjoying that. Abraham, a centering kick. Big pack at half-forward. No one able to take it cleanly. French runs into trouble. Down they go as Burgoyne applies a tackle. And he's been pinged. So the advantage is paid and everything going the way of the Power at the minute. Treadray needs someone going past. The loping hand past the Bond. Look out, you're in trouble. Back he goes towards Brewer. He shoots in towards goal. They've got another one. This is a hot start by the Power.
Here and Sandy, without a doubt, this Port Adelaide team have certainly come here to play. You can just sort of sense when the bodies are going into the ground level contest, it's the Port Adelaide players that are getting there first and pushing through their body with the momentum to actually win the ball. That is a terrific starting point when you're actually accepting the challenge that you might call it mission impossible to play here against the Kangaroos on their own turf. They have come here to play. Terrific start from Port Adelaide's point of view.
Well, this season, Port have won in Sydney and Brisbane. Can they complete the trifecta and win in Melbourne? Gee, they've opened this game beautifully. Palmed down by McKernan to Stevens. Hurried kick out of the middle. Oh, great pace shown by Winston Abraham to get there and reach the mark. Long way out. Kick by Abraham to full forward. Carey caught behind. Man in front takes the mark. Welsh.
Yeah, just superior judgment on that occasion, Drew. Got behind his opponent in Harwood on that occasion. Welsh is a very good marking player. Gives an extra foil to the Kangaroos' forward line structure. Is a goal kicker. Much needed one here from the Kangaroos' point of view.
Right in front, 30 metres out, and kicks the Kangaroos first.
Prices you can't go past on Triton two-wheel drive cab chassis, $17,990 with power steering and free tray. Great deals on Triton four-wheel drive and express van and seven-seater Nimbus from $36,990. The Mitsubishi end of financial year sale now on.
It is Mitsubishi.
Scotty Welsh starts to close the gap. 7 points to 18. McKernan up against French. Both a little early. Stevens bounces through. Out it comes to Bell. He sends them inside 50 once again, the Kangaroos. Carey is lurking dangerously there. Out wide towards Scholl. He's in trouble. Almost threw it out. The umpire says play on, so Kingsley does. Kicks it back over centre. Here comes Mickey Martin. And he's got plenty of support. Pickett is right there with him. Good shepherding, sees him clear, kicks down towards half-forward. The opportunity now for Kingsley, the newcomer. A centering ball into centre half-forward. Big pack of players. Scholes at the back, tries to get the hand pass out. No one able to pick it up cleanly. Eventually it was Francis out to Bond. Bond steadies. Sweeps the hand pass wide towards Burgoyne. He finds Josh Franco. Franco comes inboard and's got Kingsley at half-back. A good start by the Power. This is Michael Wilson. And it's a disappointing kick by Wilson. Shannon Motlop takes it and plays on to Peter Bell.
Bell, outstanding last round against Fremantle over in Perth. Here's the man who won the medal, Harvey. The kick towards centre-half forward, or just inside. They're a long way from goal. Snap for goal by Kingsley. And in his first game, he bounces through his first goal. Kingsley, first game for the Kangaroos, goal in his opening quarter.
Yeah, terrific snap goal there by Kent Kingsley. I wanted terrific to see the enthusiasm of his teammates all running to congratulate him, give him a pat on the back for a job well done. Certainly was a job well done. Got front of the contest. He was initially in that marking contest, but the ball was tapped back there by Carey into the path of Kingsley, and that's great awareness for goal. Good snap.
Kent Kingsley will long remember that kick. His first at senior level, his first goal. And the Kangaroos come back. Stevens can't take it out of the middle. Kingsley can. The high punt up towards half forward. Oh, Pickett floated across the pack. Was unable to take the mark. The door may open for Franco, but he's claimed at the bottom. Martin and Pickett coming in over the top.
And Sandy, Shannon Grant come off for Shannon Motlop for his first run.
They've actually swapped over. Mickey Martin's now picking up Warren Treadray, knowing that he's a leaping marking player. Mick will try to play body on body. Jason McCartney's now picking up Brendan Lade.
Treadray attempting to do the ruck work. Kingsley kicks in towards full forward. The mark taken on the last line of defence by Glenn Archer. Archer looks to the outer side and he's got Harvey. What a player he was last week. He's got Stevens on centre wing. They can set up the loose man here. Spearing it in towards half forward and Wayne Carey. Carey looks down towards the 50. This is dangerous for the Power. Also lurking again is Kingsley.
Yeah, terrific run there by Kingsley. Good build-up out of defence there by the Kangaroos. First of all, the stable mark there by Archer in front of his opponent in Chalmers. He got the ball wide to the outer flank. There was a number of Kangaroos players free. Primarily the ball finished with Anthony Stevens, who found Carey in the centre corridor, who in turn wheeled back off the mark quickly. Good percentage stuff to do that because Kingsley, who was the player who ran free into their forward 50 unopposed, and Carey found him.
South Australian viewers will know him well. This 20-year-old played with Woodville, West Torrens. That kick just away to the right. His contribution, 1 goal, 1 out of this Kangaroos tally.
Interesting to see that McKernan's also come off the ground in the first 14 minutes or so of play. Capuano's back onto the ground. But the Port Adelaide have certainly been impressive in this first opening stanza. Their attack at the ball has certainly been a delight to watch, and also their execution by foot.
Well, here's Peter Burgoyne. Power kicked the first 3 goals. The Kangaroos have kicked the next 2. It's taken quite a while. The Kangaroos fans getting on his back. He clears the 50, and the ball just arrived before the spoil. Harwood. James Hird lookalike. Out towards the southern stand wing. Treadray a long way up the ground. He juggles but can't complete the mark. And Martin works it towards the line, but it's not out. It's still there for the Kangaroos. Terrific stuff. Stevens runs onto it. Centering ball. Kingsley again in the chop. At Carey. They hit the ground. Brent Harvey. Motlop in there. He's also in his first game. Can he get a goal? The King's got it. Carey goes.
Ci tengo la mia macchina, sai, è proprio un amore. Capirai, quindi, mi è venuto quasi un attacco cardiaco quando ha cominciato a fare bang, bang, bang. L'ho portato subito oltre Ciune e il meccanico mi ha detto che si trattava del timing. Hanno fatto la diagnosi, me l'hanno aggiustata e non mi hanno fatto pagare mica tanto, sai. Oltre Ciune, brava gente. I speak my language.
Carey, Welsh and Kingsley, the goal kickers for the Kangaroos, and suddenly they lead by 2 points after the Power were like lightning out of the blocks, booting the opening 3. Good start to this game. laid on the ball, and we welcome him back, and I'm sure Port fans will as well. Heavy clash there.
Interesting.
Simpson picks himself up, but that could be Bond.
Yeah, Bond. He actually come off the back of the square unopposed. They've actually brought Barnaby French, I think, has come off the ground. Lade's gone up into the ruck, or actually French has gone to full forward. They've actually just made the conventional change. Bond's come off the square. Basically, Jason McCartney at this stage is accountable for Bond. That's the matchup. But that was terrific courage by Bond. He charged into that contest. But that has typified the approach Port Adelaide have gone into this game. They've wanted to make it a real physical contest. We see here, that was him charging off the back of the square. There's Simpson. The head-eye clash was there. Contact was made to his head. Rightfully so, the umpires deemed a free kick to Bond. But that's terrific courage. Eyes only for the ball. That's the start. That's the attitude that Mark Williams certainly wants from his players.
Nick, a crunch from the boundary line. It was pretty loud.
You heard it down there, Couchy?
Yeah, it wasn't nice.
That's pretty reckless when it's high. When it gets the bloke on the head.
So Polton comes on to replace Bond for the moment. Couchy, I'm sure, will let us know exactly what Bond requires to get back out onto the ground.
He looks a bit dazed, Sandy.
Yeah, it might be a little stitch-up job too, and well, we'll just hope that it's not too serious. So play goes on now. Burgoyne takes it and gives it away to Kingsley. He's on half-back for the power. Looks up towards Barnaby, French and co on half-forward. French got a hand to it. Waiting down was Franco. Oh, claim from behind. Loses it. Could prove costly too. Stevens charges out of defence. Kicks up towards half-forward. Daniels came over the top to spoil and poked it down towards Nick Stevens. Stevens wide towards centre wing. McKernan, the opportunist, does it well. Probably a little hand pass is difficult for Simpson. McKernan goes again. Pokes it again wide to Anthony Stevens. Almost coat-hanged. And he'll get a free kick.
Stevens on Stevens.
He actually realised that the head-high contact was going to be there. He dropped his knees, and that smart play there by Stevens. Knew the contest was going to be there, but ducked his head and got the free kick.
Oh, an interesting kick. Welsh may finish up with it. No, he doesn't. He loses it. Couple of points in it at the moment. Brewer gets it away once again. Chance for the power to clear through Polton. Just come on the ground. Jared Polton down towards half-forward. Martin slaps it out to Pickett. Byron Pickett is on half-back. He finds McCartney, another one into Blakey. Blakey comes wider to Brent Harvey. And Harvey will steady it now for the Kangaroos. Horrendous kick. A nightmare. Polton. The hand pass to French. The big man lopes away. Back to Polton again. He's in trouble. A 360 before finding Stevens. Stevens gets another one to Wilson. He's off to Franco. Franco looks towards right half forward. Lockwood's out of position, and it's all Kangaroos. Simpson takes the mark.
Away to Martin Pike. Kangaroos leading by 2 points after conceding the first 3 goals of the game. Kicked by Pike with plenty of distance to the centre of the ground. Good mark. Fabian Francis. And he'll take his kick from just behind the centre circle. Out wide he goes to Lade. Lade to half forward. Dew started on the bench.
Stevens should keep running.
He can kick it a mile, but he's a mile from goal. Man on the mark's about 60, just over 60 metres out. Bit of height on the forward line for Port Power, though. He's gone for the top. He's given it everything and has missed by 40 metres.
Yeah, that's the type of kick the forwards don't want coming in. Just to kick the ball 15, 20 metres from goal, directly in front. That's what puts pressure on the opposition defence. Interesting, when Bond come off the ground, it was Harwood who's gone forward to play on McCartney as a conventional centre forward. The other end of the ground, Polton's come on the ground to play as a half-back flanker.
McCartney, punched down by Carey, who's had the number 2 haircut this week. Haven't quite seen Wayne Carey looking like this in his league career.
Just an update on Shane Bond. He's got a cut in the cheek and just getting stitched up inside.
Okay, thanks, Couchy. It's the King looking very summary. Lade, Capuano, Franco. Down towards the 50. Powell would love another one here. Tedray goes over the top. And they've got the opportunity to do it, and he's done it. Bowen Lockwood. 2 to Lockwood.
My wife was at a ballet, steps up the road. Left here about 10 to 8, so I was going to be late anyway. Hit me about there. Where are you? You're late. Oh, I had an accident. Yeah, Monday morning, drove it down to Amy. Don't have to worry about getting your 3 quotes and all that sort of stuff. They give me a cab to work and they pay for that. They keep you posted during the repair. They give you a cab back and pay for the lot. And you're on your way, you've got the lifetime guarantee to back you up if something goes wrong with the car. My wife said, it's okay, you'll be as late as you want. She comes now.
Port Power back in front. They lead by 4 points. Bowen Lockwood, 2 goals from 3 kicks in his comeback game. Palmed down in the middle by Capuano, but he doesn't clear the area. Now Stevens, Anthony Stevens, kick up short of the 50. Paxman clears. He's got the job on Carey. It bounces through a big pack. Mick Martin at the back. With the left foot around the corner is good. Simpson. Pike. Wobbly old kick by Pike up towards centre wing. Abraham taps for a teammate. Motlop leaves it. Bell. Kick by Peter Bell. Wide for Carey. Running out of room and outnumbered. He's turned it over. Taken by Nick Stevens. Any amount of power players here. Kingsley holds onto it. And Kingsley's on both sides. Adam Kingsley off the left short to Dew. Dew across the ground. Beautiful. Eagleton, the left footer, right in front, 55 out. He goes wide. Oh, good mark. Gee, they've got some height down there. And Chalmers marks about 42 metres from goal. By the time you've got Chalmers, Treadray drifts down, Lockwood. It's interesting looking forward line now, Mick.
Yeah, certainly is a potent. They're all mobile, and that's the key, I think, Drew. More often than not, when tall players don't mark the ball, they become slow players at ground level. But these 3 players in their forward 50 are all mobile, and they can certainly take a mark.
Kicks from 48 metres, Chalmers. Away to the right for a minor score.
Just in that build-up, Drew, I think it was just so important that Kingsley didn't panic. He certainly didn't do that. Looked like a North Melbourne player come off the interchange bench. He was actually going to handball the ball forward, but he had great presence of mind to hold the ball, assess his options on the way through, find a teammate in Dew, who in turn gave it to Eagleton, who in turn found Chalmers.
Pickett takes it from Bell. Kicks up towards centre wing. That's a disappointing kick. Kingsley. Tackled late, but Pickett again will repel. Very good player, this young man. To the run of McCartney, who goes wide at the Pike. Slightly hesitant, but eventually gets it away in towards the middle. Harvey. Archer streaming down the ground. He looks up towards the 50, towards Carey. Kingsley came steaming out. The Stevens hand pass is going to be okay. Fabian Francis takes it away from Paxman, says, I'll do it. And he does, to the outer side. King late on the scene. He's got to beat a couple. Well, it could have been a free kick, but it's okay now for the Power because Eagleton's away. Up towards the pocket, and the mark is taken there by Mark Harwood.
It's just so obvious at this stage of the first quarter, Sandy, that Port Adelaide, when they're coming forward, the responsibility of the players forward of the ball carrier must come and present themselves at that player. They're looking for short options on the way through. Therefore, it makes the defensive group from Kangaroos more accountable. Instead of isolating themselves and sort of trying to overplay the situation off their man, they have to commit themselves to play defensively and play alongside their opposition players.
So the young man from the Tassie Mariners has kicked a couple of goals in his short career. 2 goals, 2 for the season. And he hasn't added in the goal department there. 2-3 now. The Power by a goal. With just under 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. A lot of cloud cover creeping over the MCG as Pickett brings it back into play. The lovely kick. McKernan got in front of the pack and it finished with him. His short kick was partly smothered, but the Kangaroos have got the numbers. Simpson takes the hand pass, kicks up towards Shannon Grant, who's back. Gives it away once more. Now all of a sudden they're up towards centre half forward. Inside the 50. Stevens is in front of the pack and he can defend with a hand pass to Brewer. Links it across the middle. Then comes wide. Now the Power can set something up here. The hand pass is good. Eagleton's away. He's 50 out. Wilson was the man who lent him good support. Great smother by Pickett. Lands, however, with Burgoyne. Burgoyne goes for goal. It's a long kick, but it's just away to the right and one behind.
Looks like Franco's actually done something to his right ankle. He's limping off the ground. He's been replaced by Schofield. He is quite an important player to this Port Adelaide team. He's already had 4 possessions. Interesting to see what Couchy reports down there at ground level to see what injury with Franco it actually is.
Carey was outnumbered, and the punch came down to Schofield. He centres the ball perfectly, and young Lockwood again, and has a chance to kick his 3rd goal.
And that's the problem with the zone defence, isn't it? If the ball gets rebounded fairly quickly, more often than not, you'll see the players who are defending the ball from the Kangaroos kicking, they're unopposed because they're basically guarding an area. Lockwood was on his own because Pike was trying to run the ball out and be an option on the way through. The ball was turned over here on centre wing. Port Adelaide players won the ball, found Lockwood by himself 40 metres from goal.
Former champion schoolboy rower. Well, he sat down his backside as he kicked for the goal, but he kicked it anyway.
In an era of great Indigenous players, 790 News takes you back to a champion of the 80s.
I've always been rotund.
Wilbur Wilson in a blast from the past. Plus, Kylie shoots a thriller in Adelaide. We have the preview this week. On Today Tonight, the bizarre religious cult busted open.
I need some help over here.
The co-founder blows the whistle. He blames his own wife, but she and her followers turn on him.
Spiritual warfare.
6:30 Monday.
What a comeback by Bowen Lockwood. 3 goals. The Power 5-3. The Kangaroos are 3-2. 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. It's been a good one too. Burgoyne, clever little hand pass out of the middle. Eagleton, an interesting kick down towards half forward. Martin got one hand to it. Pickett just casually cuts across that half back line. Gets around Stevens. Doesn't elude them all, however. Loses it. Picked up by Stewie Dew. Bangs a long bomb in towards goal. And that was an opportunity going begging for the Ricky Ponting lookalike.
Sandy, just an update on Josh Franco. Cork right thigh.
Thank you, Couchy.
Stewie Dew was unhappy with himself there. He had a great opportunity, even though he's a long way out. Port kick in. Burgoyne marks. And Port playing all over the Kangaroos at the moment. Burgoyne centres Eagleton. Oh, it's a mark, yes, the mark, not the free kick. And Eagleton right in front, and this beautiful-looking left footer should drill this. Amazing that...
You called it before, Mick, that they were pumped up before the game, ready to play. They were very focused on just in the warm-up that you could see. They said that to get off to a good start, and that's what they've done. They've come here to play today, and Port Adelaide are going to be very hard to beat against North Melbourne. They've got to be right on the job.
Yeah, Couchy, just down at ground level, does it appear that the Kangaroos aren't really accountable at this stage?
No, they're not switched on at all, Mick. You just see they just think they're going to go through the motions and win this.
Eagleton. I've written this down for a goal already. Off the left, and he hooked it. Went for the distance, so get the rubber out.
Oh, what a mess.
Well, Dew had a great chance, and I thought Eagleton was a certainty then. They could be a mile in front.
Yeah, they've certainly controlled this first quarter. It's been 18 entries into their forward 50 to 11. Very rarely do you see North Melbourne beaten in the first quarter in terms of entries into their forward 50.
David King brings it back into play. Schofield in trouble, has lost it. Look at Winston Abraham. Spins out of trouble, then kicks clear, but the direction leaves a little to be desired. Daniels was there. Paxman also for the Power, and finally taken over by Kent Kingsley. Kicked the goal earlier for the Kangaroos. Gave the Power a 3-goal start. Overhauled them, but now have again been overtaken. Burgoyne. Well, he almost threw that out to Barnaby French, who gave it to Brewer. He's in trouble. He almost dropped it. Eventually, it's Harvey who floats it wide and out of bounds on the full.
Interesting to see the last couple of minutes of play. Lades pushed back to fill that hole with Carey and also Scholl. We'll see him get used here. He's a player by himself in that defensive 50 for Port Adelaide. Good work there by Mark Williams.
Schofield, Leyden, Stevens going right across the half-back line and now going back the other way. Just trying to set something up. Holden's in trouble. He's gone. When you've got a little terrier like Brett Harvey on your hammer, you've got to get rid of the football.
Yeah, that is terrific work there by Harvey. He charged 15 to 20 metres to get to that contest. Initially, Poulton played on. But great work there by Harvey.
And here's Peter Bell, inside 50. Tight angle, goes across the face of goal. Kingsley was there, he got a hand to it. Shannon Grant tries to soccer it clear. Eventually it's Stevens who shovels it over, conceding a behind.
Yeah, just unfortunate. Ken Kingsley just couldn't hold the ball. He'd done everything right. The Port Adelaide player really tried to make contact with the ball on the way through. It's always difficult knowing that a player's coming directly at your body in the marking contest. But in the end, good defensive play by Port Adelaide to concede a point.
Francis finds Daniels. It's his kick away on the siren, so a very, very good first quarter here at the MCG by the visitors. In fact, so far in this round, it's been the visitors who've prevailed in AFL matches in round 10. Sunday may produce several different. We'll just have to wait and see, because we've got a game up in Sydney and one over in the west. But this is an exciting performance by Port Power, who, as Drew said, have won only one of their last 5 and 6, and have desperately been seeking some consistency in the form they showed in the opening 3 rounds. Well, they've certainly shown it today.
Been a bit of a good venue for the visiting sides from interstate this weekend. Fremantle's win against Melbourne on Friday night, nearly the upset of the season. Yeah. And if Port can keep this going, this will rival.
Quarter time, Port 5-5. The Roos 3-3.
The secret to making a great risotto.
Once you've cooked it, you'll never forget how.
And how to cut the cost of banking.
Make sure you're not paying unnecessary charges.
Tuesday on Better Homes and Gardens. Then at 8, the wedding's looming. Can they get their home approved in time?
It's a bit tight on this corner.
And the family bidding in the ultimate battle of nerves.
423.5.
424.
10.5. 500 more.
No one knows the result until that hammer comes down.
Hot Property, Tuesday on 7. Buy a Chrysler Voyager before June 30 and you'll not only get a powerful V6 engine and car-like handling and safety, but you and your family will fly Qantas to Movie World on the Gold Coast, spending 3 nights at the SeaWorld Nara Resort. But hurry, offer ends June 30.
If you're an employer, make sure you have a super fund like the Australian Retirement Fund. It's hassle-free and there are no charges to your business. The Australian Retirement Fund also protects the retirement dreams of your employees.
Go to Egypt and visit the pyramids.
Go surfing every day.
I hope I'll spend it wisely.
Just blood sugar.
Oh, I probably just worked on the farm.
Relax. Hopefully on the beach.
The fund earns strong returns. And being an industry super fund, there are no sales commissions. All the profits belong to members. Call the Australian Retirement Fund on 1-800-133-122. It's the super of the future.
High on a hill was a lonely goat herd, lay, lay, lay. Now from the voice of the lonely goat herd, lay, lay, folks in a town that was quite remote heard, lay, lay.
The crowd roars! Don't worry, mate. Loser.
It's goal-kicking deals at Vodafone. Connect to any network Vodafone plan this month and you can win a hard-tackling, high-flying, ball-winning, goal-scoring, crowd-pleasing and loved Port Power game-worn Guernsey. Simply connect to any Vodafone plan or upgrade your analogue to digital with Network Vodafone. Fill in the entry form and you could win one of 22 game-worn Guernseys from the Power Essendon Clash.
G'day, Gavin Wangan here.
Entry forms available from all participating Vodafone outlets.
Goal-kicking deals at Vodafone now.
Come on, mate, we're out of here.
I think I might stay, Dad.
What do you mean you might stay?
I think I need to get in touch with my venom inside.
Smooth, creamy Kraft cheese spread. Any excuse will do.
Every Olympic Games has had its own official poster. Now the art of the Olympic Games is yours to collect in a superb series of 24 poster cards. The second official poster card, Athens 1896. The first Olympic Games of the modern era is available free in Monday's Advertiser.
An entertaining first quarter here at the MCG. The honours going with the visitors, Port Power. They're 5-5-35. Bowen Lockwood on his comeback game has booted 3 of those. And the Kangaroos are 3-3-21. The other big game being played out at the moment is at the SCG between Sydney and Collingwood. Tony Lockett, if you've just tuned in, has just kicked his 5th goal. So he has passed the Coventry record, past 1,300. Well done, Plugger. But Collingwood are giving them plenty to think about. At three-quarter time, 15-8-98 Sydney. Collingwood at 12-7-79. Mark Williams heads back to the coach's box, and getting ready for his address is our little coach down there in Paul Couch.
Good on you, Sandy. And I tell you what, Dennis Pagan could give a good spray. He said, you're on a holiday, you blokes, a public holiday. Fat heads, Learising, going one hand, short kicks, not doing the team thing. You've come here for a holiday, not to play footy, so he was very animated. Mark Williams, all the players are really pumped here. Patting each other on the back, they're ready to play. They've been focused. Before the game, they were ready. North Melbourne got a hard job ahead of them to get back into this game.
Well, Couch, you're down there on the sidelines. Did it look as though, I mean, from up here, it looked as though they're having a bit of a stroll, the Kangaroos, just waiting for it to happen.
Just having a bit of a stroll. Brent Harvey goes for a contest and doesn't go for the second one. You can just see that little indications in the game where they're going to be in trouble. It's hard to switch yourself back on if you're not switched on at the start of the game, Sandy.
All right, well, let's switch on the second quarter, Couch. Away we go with Eagleton getting the first kick. Down towards the centre wing area where Nick Stevens is lurking. He gives it away to Burgoyne. Oh, but Sadie could have just about gone all the way. He gives it to Stevens, who should kick a goal from 46 metres. It's a high drop punt, and he's got it. Great start by the Power. And at the moment, the Kangaroos are powerless.
Yeah, they certainly are, Sandy. And at this stage of the game, it's the midfield from Port Adelaide has certainly taken control. At quarter time, 3 players, Burgoyne, Eagleton and Kingsley, accumulated 28 possessions between them. They had 5 clearances from the stoppages, that being boundary throw-ins or ball-ups around the ground. But their entries into the forward 50 are telling. They've had 10 entries between those 3 players, and that's critical.
What a fantastic goal in the opening 30 seconds of the second quarter. 41-21, a 20-point lead to Power. Wow. Kick smothered in the middle. Bond is back. Adam Kingsley. They're just barreling the ball forward. Brewer comes out wide. That's terrific. Polton off the left. High towards the 50. Martin trying to spoil Treadray from behind. Does so. It comes to Harwood. The boy from Tassie looks okay. Brewer cuts into the 50. Goes for goal. He's away to the right. It comes back. Oh, another one. Brewer's second. And the Power electrifying.
Yep, certainly it is their speed around the ground that is causing concerns for the North Melbourne Kangaroos team. Already they've had 2 entries into their forward 50 in the second quarter. It was 18-12. They kicked 2 goals, but it's their efficiency once they get the ball into their forward 50 are causing problems. Their recovery at ground level is far superior to the Kangaroos team.
Well, this is amazing. Shane Brewer gets his second. Paul Couch has just got a message from Dennis Pagan to go out and wake up every kangaroo on the paddock. But they're dozing at the minute. Let's see what they can do. In the middle of the ground. Bad bounce for Eagleton. Good one for Lade. He's got players streaming down the ground. Beatty and Francis is on the end of it. King gives chase. He doesn't get him. Francis goes long. Goes for goal. Kick another one. Raining goals here.
She was a young girl who lived on the streets.
I just always said I can look after myself.
They found her body in a bag by the river.
How does a tall girl fit in a bag like this?
They don't know how, and they don't know why.
She couldn't have got into the bag by herself.
Help solve this gripping mystery.
I'd do anything to have it back.
Plus, a $300,000 opal heist. But the bandits came for something else.
The demand were for gold, for gold.
Australia's Most Wanted, Monday.
Dennis Pagan shell-shocked at the moment. The Kangaroos have won 5 in a row and they're being belted at the moment by Port Power. Comes down to Burgoyne. Here we go again. Burgoyne inside 50. Treadray, good hands. Tweaks the hand pass. Eagleton, great pick-up. Oh, just offline with his kick. Behind.
She's there running.
Mick, is it time to bring Wayne Carey down to centre-half back just to stop the flow and get back into the game?
Yeah, that could be an option. They certainly aren't getting the ball into that forward part of the crowd. That's the reason why McKernan's gone forward there also. They certainly need some run from somewhere. No doubt a Bell or a Stevens has really got to stabilise this situation and show their leadership characteristics and get this team back focused.
Kangaroos bring it out of defence, but Port at the moment are back to the form which saw them reach the final of the Ansett Cup and win their first 3 games. We haven't seen this for about 6 weeks.
Just no rebound out of their defence also. David King's a player that we know is such an important player for the Kangaroos. He's only had 3 kicks. Certainly have to generate some run from somewhere.
Blakey gets kicked down towards half-forward. That was very clever play by McKernan. Shannon Grant should finish it off with a hand pass to Kingsley, and he kicks a much-needed goal. A couple of superb individual efforts there, Mick.
Yep, certainly, Sandy, and that's the downside. If you take Wayne Carey out of that forward line, you lose that contest, and that invites other players to run onto it. See that terrific body strength. It wasn't he actually got the ball to his own hands. He actually provided the contest so the ball kept going forward towards the Kangaroos' goals. And that allowed Shannon Grant to run onto that loose ball, who in turn fed the handball over the top to Kingsley, who kicked his second, an easy one.
Margin back to 27 points with Kingsley getting his second for the Kangaroos. Kent Kingsley back in the middle again, but this has been a sensational start by the Power. In this second quarter, they are winning it out of the middle with monotonous regularity. Martin steamroll. He's going to get a free kick.
Sandy, just on that centre bounce setup, I just question whether Capuano should just start getting up and getting the ball forward and letting the Bells and the Harveys and the Stevens to run onto it. This stage he's trying to just find somebody. Burgoyne's getting there too quick, and he's the player who certainly have won the centre breaks early in this second quarter.
If it's not Burgoyne, it's Kingsley. They're unbelievable, those two. Colvin hasn't held. There'll be another ball up.
Peter Burgoyne's been getting the first possession in the middle time after time. 15 possessions already at the 6-minute mark, second quarter.
On centre wing, Capuano's coming off. Scholl is coming on. Stevens plucks it out of there. That was Anthony, but he couldn't get an effective kick. Kingsley almost had his head taken off. Courtesy of David King.
We've got King Carey, David King, and Kingsley on each side.
Kent and Adam. To half-forward, Treadray's got a fine pair of hands.
He's a talent, isn't he, Sandy?
Ah, yes. Very, very talented player. Kicks long, puts them inside 50 once again. Lockwood a little too early. Brewer tries to pluck it out of the pack, is not successful. Donald McGee, but it was thrown to you, Donald. The advantage is going to be paid, but that's no advantage, is it? Well, Jew has missed. There was a free to the Power, but is that a fair advantage, Mick?
No doubt it is, Sandy. Because he was in space, the umpire can't control his ball delivery.
True.
Hence, the reason why there's the advantage of him running into space. The Port Adelaide player should have kicked that goal. Because he didn't, that doesn't mean that it's deemed disadvantage.
He just should have kicked it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Put it up.
Mighty Mick Martin. It's been an avalanche that Mick's been facing in the Kangaroos defenders. Martin comes out wide for McCartney. Well done, Treadray. Didn't take the mark, but he followed up. His second effort was good. To the top of the goal square. Chance here for the Power. Lockwood was there. Dew should give it off. He does. Well done. Stevens marks right in front. Well, Nick Stevens coming up for his second goal.
Yeah, this is one you can pencil down.
Oh, he'll kick this. No trouble.
He's made a mess of his book already.
No, this bloke has got terrific skills. Magnificent shot for goal. Very poised. Beautiful technician of the drop punt.
So he's kicking from about 30 metres. And he gave the umpire something to think about, but he's kicked it.
McDonald's McMatchin with Monopoly. Peel off a game sticker and you could win big prizes instantly.
Like Honda HRV Sports.
And PlayStation Platinum packs.
McMatch will win Monopoly. Stick around. This is going to be big.
Is your old roof leaking, creaking, or collapsing? Replace it now before expensive structural damage is done. Use Stratco Renovation Roofing in Colorbond. Stratco Roofing. Phone for an authorised dealer to call.
2 goals for Nick Stevens. Again, the margin out to 34 points. And that's going to take some catching, even at this stage. The Power are switched on today. Don't worry about that. French got a hand to it. Burgoyne again takes it out of the middle. Down towards the 50 they go. The Kangaroos are in a state of shock at the moment. Donald Dickey. Fresh on the ground. Goes short to the left foot of Stuart Dew. Gives a little ground, trying to set it up for Kingsley. Pickett will intercept. And he does. Off he goes to Simpson. For the moment, the Kangaroos out of the danger zone, but that's a poor kick and a mark taken by Harwood. They're looking very, very good at the minute, the Power. Burgoyne.
This bloke is playing a sensational game.
Kingsley. Still going. He's taken on a couple and he's beaten them. Now he pumps it high and long in towards full forward. And Brendan Lade has taken the mark with the opportunity now of booting goal number 1 for him, but yet another one for the Power.
Yeah, terrific mark there by Lade. Tall players are such an important commodity in their forward 25 metres from goal. This quarter, in the second quarter, it's been the Port Adelaide centre clearances 5-1 against the Kangaroos. Burgoyne's had 3, Eagleton's had 2 of those clearances. Inside 50s, 9-1. They're controlling this game, every facet.
The Power welcome back Lockwood. Have they done the same to Lade with a goal? No. One behind.
Sandy, there's just been an injury for North Melbourne. Shannon Motlops had a kick on his fibula, so he's a little bit sore, so he may not come on for the rest of the game.
Okay, Couchy, that Gummer's getting a fair workout from Deep Hagen now.
Sandy, it's 33 possessions to 12 in this second quarter. Nearly 3 times the amount of the ball the Port Adelaide team have had. That's an amazing statistic in terms of winning the ball.
Well, the margin shot out to 35 points after being 14 at quarter time. Here's Peter Bell. Someone's got to try and fire up this Kangaroo outfit, otherwise they're going to get poleaxed. Scholl plays on quickly, kicks it up towards half forward. Big pack of players there, but that's a fine mark taken by Polton.
Jared Polton goes across the half-back line, close to the boundary line, and Nick Stevens, who's kicked 2 goals in this quarter, here he is about 55 metres out from his defensive goal. Midway through the second term, and Port Adelaide are giving the Kangaroos a nice old touch-up. Harwood back to Stevens. Look at the space. Their team system is working an absolute treat. I reckon they must have spent the last fortnight working on this. Dickey from defence up towards centre wing. Carey punches from behind. He had to play the role of defender there. Down to Blakey. Long kick to the forward line. Harwood couldn't mark, but he followed up. Ridden into the ground by Winston. The umpire comes in and is going to ball it up.
Yeah, you can just see Port Adelaide are trying to transfer play every opportunity. No doubt they believe they've got the legs to cover the ground a little bit quicker than the Kangaroos team. Hence, that's the reason why they're adapting that style of play.
French. Polton, very good. Out towards the members' wing. Dew in front. Tried to knock the ball on rather than take clean possession. And accidentally it came back to him. He had clean possession. And he gained 30 metres and it's out at centre wing. Well done, Ricky.
The challenge has been thrown to Anthony Stevens. There's no doubt he's got to accept that Peter Burgoyne, his opponent, is getting a lot of the ball. He's really just got to go and play some body on body, to have that steely mind approach that we know that he's got. Example, the Shane Crawford contest that he was thrown to about 4 weeks ago at Waverley. He accepted it that night, rose beyond the odds. He's certainly got to challenge that again today.
Well, that tells the story, really. That Simpson kick of the day so far. Harwood may make them pay, but he's just as bad as he puts it onto the chest of Mickey Martin. Now, Martin kicks back towards half-forward. Paxman was all over Carey. Carey will do the shepherding for Scholl, but he's out-bustled in the end by Michael Wilson. and he pokes it over the line for another throw. And it's amazing, it was just a couple of weeks ago, Mick, we saw St Kilda absolutely rout Port by some 62 points, and you really did wonder then what their future was for the year. They come out today and they're playing like absolute champions.
Yeah, well, that just goes to show football's a week-by-week game. Depends on attitude, depends on the psyche of the players. Here's Carey.
Good defensive work, and with sayings like that, you could become a coach.
I thought that was
just a
cliche
proposition.
Well, it is. There's no doubt about that. As much as we say it, it is, because you're dealing with minds of bodies. Some are sorer than others, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the competitive attitude of 18 men against 18 men.
That was interesting.
It's a goal.
That is a goal. Now, who are we going to credit it to?
Harvey.
I hit a 6 in cricket today. 6 crickets? Oh, bad
Telstra's new easy rates, low flat rates by the minute or the half hour to every country in the world.
I bought a googly too.
Like Hong Kong. For a quick call, dial 0011 for 41 cents a minute. Or for a long chat, dial 0018 and save even more with a $10 half-hour block.
What's a googly? You know.
Making it easy for you.
So Brent Harvey, fresh from 7 goals for Victoria last week, and he won the 5 goals. He won the E.J. Whitten medal. Clayton takes the mark for the Kangaroos in midfield. Up short, and Stevens takes the mark. Should have been 7. He missed a couple late in the game. Back to Clayton. Long to full forward. McKernan's there. And the ball touched over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, that was a typical pattern from North Melbourne, or the Kangaroos, I should say. McKernan took the centre bounce, then charged forward, Stevens won the ball. Just the kick had too much carry on it. He was in a better option than what his opponent in French was. Unfortunately, the kick didn't find him.
Carey tried to take clean possession. Here's Harvey, shot by Scholl. It's close, I think he's kicked it. So a mini comeback by the Kangaroos, but they're still a long way behind.
Yeah, just in terms of general field play, it's no doubt the Port Adelaide team are controlling it. But on the scoreboard, you can just sort of sense the Kangaroos aren't that far away. A couple of their good players in McKernan and also Carey really haven't had much of an influence on this game. McKernan's only had 4 touches and yet to take a mark, whereas Carey's only had 3 and only taken 1 mark.
$23 points, the margin now. At one stage, 35, and looking down the barrel. But funny old game. Bell caught. Simpson gets a hurry kick to half forward. That one stuck for Kingsley. He's been pretty impressive. Goes with a long bomb. Down towards Harry. Couldn't quite hold it. Used the body as we know he can. But the ball just slipped out and they've got to throw it.
And just on that centre bounce, Sandy, they restructured or changed their structure of their forward line. Kingsley's come out to basically be the centre half forward. Carey's told all the other players to push up the ground, knowing that it's an important 11 or 12 minutes of play remaining in this second quarter. Maybe he can take 3 or 4 marks and kick his 3 or 4 goals just before half-time.
Here's Harvey again. Francis seems to have a little time. Got the hand pass initially out to Harwood. Off he goes to Burgoyne. Knocked up getting kicks. Just goes to the wide open spaces. And a clever kick in the end. Had no one down the ground. So he sought the sanctuary of the boundary line and he found it.
Sandy, just an injury report on Shane Bond. His left eye's nearly closed up. They don't know whether it's anything broken at all. Left cheekbone. They're going to check x-rays when they get back tomorrow.
Okay, Couchy. We can forget him for the rest of the day. Shannon Grant. Down towards Carey. Ricochets off the boot. This is dangerous here. Stevens. Penetrating hand pass. Only got a 6 for Kingsley. Well done. He's an exciting young player. And here they come.
Back in the middle, and the Kangaroos have kicked the last 3 goals in the space of 3 minutes. Bell works it across to Simpson. Long to full forward. Carey takes his second mark. Plays on, and it's 4 in 3.5 minutes to the Kangaroos.
This is a terrific game. There's no doubt about that. Both sides have really accepted the challenge. It's a great contest, but there's the difference, as we spoke about earlier, Sandy, of getting the ball forward rather than back. It's just the natural inclination for the players to receive the ball to often get forward of the contest. Quite often coaches don't want that to happen, but it's just a natural inclination for players to do that. Terrific work there by McKernan. Good centre-bound structure, quick hands in tight, good mark Carey, easy goal.
2 goals to Wayne Carey. Kangaroos bouncing back into this game. And they're making a change too. We'll keep an eye on that. They've got a player going from one end of the ground to the other. Looks like Archer, who has been used effectively down in that forward line. But Burgoyne, very good to Harwood. Mickey Martin will try and chop that off at the second attempt. Lockwood gives chase, but he gets it away towards Peter Bell. They've woken up the Kangaroos now. Don't worry about that. On centre wing, strong mark, taken by Clayton. Started on the bench. Has a look now up towards the 50. A long, low kick and a fine grab taken by Daniels. Suddenly the power defence under a little bit of siege. Daniels on half-back. The margin now just 11 points. It was 35 points 5 minutes ago. McConaughey over the top. That's a big line. Maybe even a Cadbury contender. McKernan. Penetrating kick too. Francis. Big leap. Couldn't take it. Scholl down in front. Hand pass intercepted. Oh, they've come to play now, the Kangaroos.
Yeah, they've lifted their work rate, Sandy. There's no doubt about that. Probably terrific mark here by Corey McKernan. No doubt this is a candidate for Cadbury Mark of the Day or Mark of the Year. Sensational grab there by Corey McKernan. What about the tackle by Brent Harvey, also in their forward 50?
Yeah.
Francis clears out of defence towards the members' wing. Dew leads the race, running out of room and taken over by a fierce tackle by Pickett.
They've lifted.
Boy, would he get you. He hurts. Now look at this from a different angle. Dew, centimetres inside the field of play, and he's crunched into the fence.
Did you feel that down there, Couchy?
I'm glad I was out of the road, just missed it by a metre.
Polton, well done. Dew, Eagleton, the kick short of the 50. Treadray flies like a bird. He's third in the league in marks taken behind Lowe and Richardson. Dished out, back to Dew. Puts it out in front of goal. Lockwood couldn't complete the mark. Archer just gets rid of the kick. In a bit of space out here on the southern stand side of the ground is Rawlings. 20-metre hand pass. Oh, it didn't sit well. Clayton, it didn't reach him. Hurriedly Simpson. Polton camped underneath it, juggles and takes a mark.
He's been quite good. Been very good, very composed across half-back.
And Adam Kingsley takes another mark. He's coming up for his 13th kick. I'd just like to point out Burgoyne. He's had 21 possessions, and we've got nearly 8 minutes to half-time.
Been good. Ooh.
51 plays, 62.
So it's this bloke, Kingsley.
Yeah.
This is his 14th possession coming up.
Pops into Francis in the middle.
Brewer's been also very good, Mick, too.
Doesn't show on the stats, but the other blokes have had a lot of leather.
To half forward, Martin, a fraction early. Carey down there as well.
You played a fair amount of footy with Shane Brewer down at Geelong, Couchy. Where do you think his best role for the team is? Across half forward or actually in the centre square?
I like him in half forward, in the centre square sometimes, but he doesn't get a lot of stats, but what he can do is really set you up, and that's important touches he can get.
Carey defends. Burgoyne, interesting little hand pass over the top to Kingsley. They're like Siamese twins at the moment. Daniels, poor kick, Archer. Got David King on half-back. King heads to the outer side. He's got Byron Pickett having a stroll through the middle and let it go. Pickett's away.
Open goal square.
Can go all the way. Needs a kind bounce. Lade gives chase. The bounce is cool. Spins away from goals. And Lade strolls out of the fence. Chipping dangerously so. That was very, very dangerous. And now Carey will make him pay. Scholes in the square. He just lets it go. Carey's kicked another one. Here come the Kangaroos.
I hate the whole idea. Sarge ran.
I hated it too the first 10 or 15 times.
All you've ever had removed are things that you swallowed, got stuck to, or sat on. But we got a problem here. She's going into shock.
A special home improvement tonight. Their courtship's been icy cold.
Why hasn't he?
Now Monday nights are getting a little hotter when Ally McBeal
Who's the sick one?
him
Her.
meets Bruce Willis.
Shut up!
I'm speaking now.
A star-studded Ally, Monday.
5 points the margin here after Port led by 35 earlier this quarter. Lade, who gave up that last one to Carey. Stevens, hurried one by Eagleton. Hugh gives chase. Here comes Pickett on him. Hugh on the turn with the left. Good kick. Acrobatic by Treadray, but he couldn't complete the mark. Martin. McCartney grabbed when he didn't have it.
And Sandy, it was interesting at that centre bounce. Archer pushed forward. He was in there forward 50, but also it left one of the Port Adelaide players unopposed. It was Chalmers. They had a 4-man forward line as against a 3-man defence for Kangaroos. It was just a matter of who won the ball out of that centre clearance, who was going to be effective.
Oh, trouble now.
Great punch by Daniels, but Simpson had a shot from in front of the pack. Way out wide towards the pocket. Grant. Great tackle by Wilson. Gee, this is a good game.
10-goal quarter at the moment, Drew. Still got over 5 minutes remaining. Kangaroos have booted 6. Of those 10, Michael Wilson, well, he is a great tackler. Lade does some heavy work. Kick is high, and he won underneath it. And I think it may come back. The umpire has gone over here. In fact, it will.
Free kick for Harvey.
Harvey was crunched. So it's going to come back to the little man in the left forward pocket. And he'll attempt to kick the Kangaroos' 10th goal.
You could argue for a relay free then, rather than a free back at the spot, because the ball had gone.
Harvey from 46 metres, going across the face. McKernan couldn't get in front of Lade, who fisted it over the line for one behind. 9-4, plays 9-8. Cool Sunday in Melbourne. Gee, they would have been rocking at Billy Bell's Hotel in South Melbourne, the home of Port Power.
They what?
Imagine Billy. He would have been fired up. But the Power have been dragged in by the Kangaroos.
They'll charge up again at half-time.
You could bet your bottom dollar on that. Daniels goes out towards centre wing. Big fly by Donald Dickey, and that's a good mark. Gets away with a little lightning hand pass towards Francis. He's got support in Stevens. Back he goes to Donald. Still on centre wing. Dickey, it's a poor kick, but it's a good bounce. Oh, I thought it was going to be for Burgoyne, but then Stevens chipped in and comes away. Back up towards the left half forward. They all fly in the pack. Harvey looks for another free kick. Daniels locks it up with Simpson, and there will be a ball up on the other side.
Every opportunity when Port Adelaide win the ball in their defensive part of the ground, you see Paxman charging up the ground, trying to get Carey out of that dangerous part. As you spoke about before, Drew, the impact Carey's had. He's only had 4 kicks, but he's kicked 3 goals straight.
Well, Paxman's played a top game, and he's had 1 touch.
Yeah, he certainly has been good in terms of quietening down Wayne Carey. I think it was the initial shock that Port Adelaide placed on the Kangaroos by controlling this game.
Still, I remember Robert Klomp once won a television for about 1 touch.
Yeah. Number 22 at Carlton.
Well, if you can keep a champion quiet, you've done the job. But here goes again. Carey, mark not paid. Oh, the fan's not happy. Grant beats a man. Back to Carey. He snaps. He's offline this time. And that's 3 goals won to Wayne Carey.
Port Adelaide, they certainly need a goal just to stem this tide. Kangaroos have kicked the last 5 unanswered goals of this second quarter. they've certainly fought hard to get back into this contest just before half-time with only 3 minutes of the second quarter remaining.
Certainly had to answer the wake-up call.
Francis to Wilson in the back pocket. 62, plays 59, the power just hanging on. Scholl couldn't take it. Support from Stevens. The hand pass away, comes back to Scholl. From Shannon Grant into Carey. Got hands to it, but that was all. Kingsley is there to assist him, but it's belted out of his hands. Back towards the 50, and the diving mark is taken by Clayton.
Yeah, that's a good get. He really worked hard to get that mark. Terrific stuff by Clayton. He's a fairly penetrating kick. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he actually makes the distance. Of course, it'll be just a question of accuracy.
Which has been questionable this year. He's booted 4 goals, 5. He's kicking from 55. 4 goals, 6 for the season.
He just got a little bit too close to the man on the mark, knowing he had to kick through the ball to actually get the distance. Quite often, more often than not, when players do that, they become inaccurate.
But a great quarter of football, an amazing comeback by the Kangaroos after the power looked as though they were going to charge away at one stage, leading by 35 points. Wilson.
Daniels took a long time to find Wilson. He was free for a long period of time just on that kicking setup. But he'll obviously kick the ball long to a tall marking player across centre wing.
Just over 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Heads to the big pack there. McKernan is in front of Lade.
And you called it right, Mick. Twice now Rawlings has been slow to get the ball on. He could have switched the play twice to another Port Adelaide player. That's where they've been dangerous, but slow play.
Yep.
Inside 50.
Free kick to the King.
You can hear the ironical cheers.
It all comes back from that kick, though, Sandy. Just slow play. You've got to get it on quick, especially if Port Adelaide use their pace.
Gee, Pat's starting to take points off Paxman. I'm giving him a rap when he had only one kick. It was a few minutes ago. Now Carey's starting to get it a bit.
He was just about dancing with him. Carey directly in front. This for his 4th goal, kicking from 52 metres. He too appears to be away to the left. So they're edging closer point by point, and there is now just one inning.
Yeah, the further you're out from goal, it decreases the percentages quite marginally. When you are actually trying to get a lot of distance with your kick, you're better off getting into that 30 to 40 metre range, so players are comfortable when kicking for goal.
Daniels on the run this time. Oh, up the corridor, a bit dangerous. Bell takes the mark, and North stream forward. David King, plenty of forwards. Carey and Scholl. Here comes Scholl. Wide. Capuano offline with his kick, no score.
Sandy, Scholl's actually made a big difference, Craig Scholl, of course, to this Kangaroo structure in the second quarter. He spent a bit of time on the interchange bench. He's had 6 possessions in this second quarter, but most of them have been fairly effective. Just goes to show he's a very important player to the Kangaroos in that part of the ground.
North dominating at the moment, but their last few shots have been behinds. They trail by just 1 point. They could lead by half-time. Blakey. Man in front, Carey. Sandwiched. The umpire will ball it up. 34 seconds left as the clock ticks down.
And there's Steinberner, who's just come on the ground, replacing Holton. Very quick winger-type player.
Well, can North get the lead just before the siren? McKernan knocks it goalwards. Grant is there. Can't win possession. Gee, they crunched through. There could have been a free. And the umpire will ball it up again, which will use up valuable time. So I think Port will cling to this lead at half-time by a point, but they did lead by 35 earlier in this quarter. Clock has now stopped. 10 seconds left. North could still get a score out of this ball-up. A lot of players around this ball. Dumped out. Siren just in time for Port. Well, what a game. They lead by a point, but they had to withstand a tremendous comeback by North in the second half of that second quarter, and they lead 9-8 to 9-7.
Yeah, terrific fight back by the Kangaroos. That's the reason why they're one of the best teams in the AFL competition. But Mark Williams, he would be pleased with the effort and the work rate of the Port Adelaide team. No doubt they came to the MCG today with a certain style of play in motion. Their midfield group in Eagleton, Kingsley and also Burgoyne, they've been exceptional in being good high possession winners. Stevens on a wing's also been good. Jew across half forward's been lively. Lockwood's been a very positive forward for them, only having 4 kicks, but more importantly kicking 3 goals. Treadways gave options on the way through, but the whole group of the Kangaroos team certainly lifted their work rate. Their midfield group certainly had to. And in that possession, it was fairly even in terms of possession rate, but I just feel that the Kangaroos team really tightened up. They become more accountable for their direct opponent, hence only trailing by 1 point at half-time.
Yes, the words that Dennis Pagan had to say at quarter time finally kicked into gear, and so too did his team. So we've got a ball game on our hands here for this second half. A 1-point ball game at the long break. The Power leading.
Good afternoon. Coming up in 7:90 News at 6, the Plugger Show. Sydney's super full forward Tony Lockett breaks the 65-year-old AFL goal-kicking record in front of a huge crowd at the SCG. The Oval was flooded with fans when he kicked goal number 1300. Heartbreak for some 5-year-old kids after someone torched their school overnight. They've been left with nothing. Can you help catch the arsonist? And why are shopkeepers expecting more armed hold-ups?
Ever thought, how on earth did some people ever get a license?
Oh, this is cool. Oh, that's embarrassing.
That's your hand on the wheel there.
Oh, gross.
Got to pull over, Rachel. Mum, I've got to pull over.
Stop.
Want to come and get your train?
What really happens when we first get behind the wheel? Learners, tonight at 7 on 7.
Oh, did you feel how smooth that was? Oh.
Cianonna, I've made you an arrabbiato recipe.
Bravo, Gianni.
Telstra's new Easy Rates, low flat rates by the minute or the half hour to every country in the world.
It's the most delicious ever, Nonna.
Like Italy. For a quick call, dial 0011 for 45 cents a minute. Or for a long chat, dial 0018 and save even more with an $11 half-hour block.
Well, the second most delicious, huh?
Allora mangio benissimo.
Making it easy for you.
Aye, we were off for a wee break with the wains, and the collar was like a cow. And would you know about Kennett? Clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm stood there right glaikit with the wains shouting, "Oh, Farah, you ken you're nothing but a big dunderhead." So I skedaddled right into Ultratune and told the laddie about the clunk, clunk, clunk. He says, "Oh, your shock absorbers are out the windy, man," and made a rare job of them. Understood me perfectly, he did.
Did you know John Farnham is turning 50 this year?
50? 50 what?
Does that make me a grandmother?
He's not 50.
50?
He's older than that.
You're kidding.
I can't believe I'm 50.
You're invited to John Farnham's 50th. Join John and his friends, Human Nature, Kate Sobrano, James Rain, Merrill Bainbridge, Ross Wilson and Manners Army. Extra shows now on sale. Let's party.
The Footy Wars. What the 12th man did to cricket, the halfback flankers are doing to footy.
These cretins are taking the mickey out of everything and everyone.
This is Violence 15.
Oh, no. Me, Rixie. They've got a lot of boring about Collingwood.
Tenacity, perspicacity, and synchronicity.
Centimetre perfect. What do you think? What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think.
Just another day in the commentary box, really? You'd be an idiot not to get a copy. There, can I go now?
Triple M presents the Supercross Masters at the Entertainment Centre. 2 nights of extreme racing, Yankee Invaders, No Fear Expression Session and the Pro Hydro Motorcycle Demo Derby. The Jolt Cola Supercross Masters Entertainment Centre, Book at Bass.
How would 2 large pizzas, a 1.25 litre Coke and a garlic bread for $19.95 make you feel? A large Haven Craven meal.
Half-time here at the MCG, and what a half of football it has been. The Power like lightning out of the blocks, but the Kangaroos finally woke up and have hit back very, very hard. They're down by just a point. The Power 9-8, the Kangaroos are 9 goals 7. So if you've just joined us, stay with us for what should be a very big second half. Major contributors, Carey. He's only picked up 4 or 5 kicks, but more importantly, he's booted 3 goals. Kingsley, the newcomer, is having a field day of a debut. He has belted 3 through, while as far as the power are concerned, Bowen Lockwood, great to welcome him back. He's got 3, Shane Brewer has 2, and Nick Stevens has 2. They are their major contributors. Of course, the other big game today at the SCG, standing room only. In fact, really no standing room. An absolute full house, and why not, to see the record books rewritten by the great man himself, the man we know simply as Plugger. He did it early on in the first term when he booted 3 goals to move to 1,300. Let's have a look at some of the highlights of the clash now between Sydney and Collingwood.
Against West Coast, and was a key forward last time. Brown couldn't quite hold his feet there. Back to King. King, wild kicks the goal. Got it. They're closing. Rocker getting back. Williams, Kinnear. Looks a good athlete, Kinnear. The kick didn't go far enough. Nix has got it. Belts it hard and high. Kelly and Lockett are there for the Swans. Plugger's got it.
This is bread and butter for a bloke that's kicked 1,300, isn't it?
You would reckon. Over the ball, and the Swans need the goal. He's got it. He's got 4. Hands and knees, trying to get out. Has a second, third go. Freeborn, threw it out in the end. Saddington's handball was clever. To Crouch, bangs at the centre half forward. Can Kelly take off? Front spot, Prestia Tacoma. O'Loughlin's terrific play. It's on the up from Luff. Kelly. Rocker. Down to Monkey the Rover. Haven't seen that too often in his career. Mercuria gets it from Wild and then goes hard and high. Stabs in a 1 out. He's got it. He thought they'd probably sneak away. Rocker's kicked it beautifully. Goods gets over Monkey as he's done all day. O'Loughlin, well played. Back to Fosdyke. Fosdyke with a big kick. Lockett's got a half a chance here. Right through for Graham. Kick 4. Very careful, he's kicked 5. Back to Kinnear. Kinnear runs his full measure. Neat kick to Anthony Rocker. Big stretch, Carey got rid of him. Brown's onto it. Brown unselfishly to Burns a goal. 14-8 to 11-6. Still Collingwood go. Burns to full forward. Dunkley was pushed out, it looked. He's under pressure now. Taken by Jackatine. Jackatine's kicked a goal. Collingwood won't go away. He's got him now. Creswell. 60 metres from goal, decides just to go thump it. Lockett! He's got it! Will he do it again on the siren? Yes, he will. He'd love to find somebody cleanly on a long kick, wouldn't he? Well, that is Nathan what he wanted. It's typical of what's happened in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Crouch gets it back. Kelly, Plugger, Lockett, Plugger has kicked it. It's 8. No goes longer. Nix could release Fosdyke. Which way will he go? Lockett's on a lead. Nix is a good kick. Plugger goes in. Wonderful start. He's kicked 10 goals on 22 occasions, so he's getting close. This could be 9. He has put it through. Freeborn, Kelly gets it out cleverly. Fosdyke's left foot has drilled it. He is a good kid, this one.
Yes, Collingwood threatened in the early stages of the third quarter there, but Sydney, a powerhouse, finished once again with a 7-goal blast in the final term. Tony Lockett finishing the day, a day he'll never forget. He booted 9, and he is now the greatest goal kicker in the VFL/AFL. 22-13, 145 Sydney. Collingwood 14-10, 94. We're going to take a break, more shortly from the MCGs.
Every time she turns up here, it is self-inflicted.
It's a case that will divide Ward 17.
If you don't get your act together, you're going to die. Don't work on lost causes.
You don't think for a moment you've done her a favour, do you? Stop it? Sure.
All Saints, Tuesday.
Well, here it is. The next generation Magna.
Impressive.
There's more drive ahead and legroom than Falcon. And plenty of space for the whole family. And the new 3.5-litre V6 generates the same power as the Commodore's 3.8. So, technology, security, space, and power. When you think about it, choosing any other family car would be, illogical.
New Magna 3.5, the next generation is Mitsubishi.
He achieved hero status in South Australia as the first Adelaide skipper to hold aloft the AFL Premiership Cup. To be a back-to-back Premiership captain has assured Mark Bickley's place in football folklore. In Bix, he goes behind the scenes. He tells the stories, relives the moments. Bix, the Mark Bickley story, is out on video now, along with Robert Harvey, The Story So Far, and Worsfold on Worsfold. The AFL Champion Series. Get your copies at these stores now.
Ian Berry Insurance Brokers arrange all types of insurance for all types of businesses. If you're self-employed or run a large corporation, no business is too small or too big. Phone Ian Berry Insurance Brokers to arrange a competitive value-for-money quote on your insurance. Why don't you let a successful South Australian company look after your insurance and help your business grow?
Russell Brandy, $16.99.
Well, and speak. Queen Adelaide range, $4.99.
So what do we say?
Hello, $28.99.
Jars of gold.
$25.99.
At the mate.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local sip and save.
On Live and Kicking, anything's possible.
That's fabulous.
With footy news.
Rip snort again.
Footy views. Live 9:30 Wednesday.
Take a chance, son. Off you go.
Live and Kicking on Channel 7.
Half time at the MCG. If you may have just joined us, the Power by one solitary point after leading by, at one stage, 35 points. 9-8 plays 9-7. We've got Wayne Carey in action for the Kangaroos. He's booted some 3 goals already in this game to take his career tally to over 500. Only one other North Melbourne player or Kangaroo has eclipsed the magical 500 figure. That is Johnny Longmire. Let's have a look at him now in this Mitsubishi Magic Moment.
Gone for the banana kick. Don't tell me he's put that through. Let's see. Yes, it's another one.
A 13-goal opening blitz, a club record score of 32 goals, and for North Melbourne, a 141-point win over Richmond under the MCG lights. And for the Roos, the experiment of playing youngster John Longmire at full forward would pay handsome dividends.
Yeah, I kicked 12 goals that night. It was the first time I'd actually played full forward.
Longmire dominated the night, amassing 22 kicks, 18 marks, and even found time for a handball.
I'm pretty disappointed I gave that handball, but I guess that I was probably getting tackled by about 5 blokes at the time.
19-year-old John Longmire would go on and kick 98 goals for the season and become the youngest player to win the Coleman Medal. John Longmire, a Mitsubishi memorable moment.
Yes, nice to reminisce with Mitsubishi and Johnny Longmire there, but at 511 goals at the moment as far as the Kangaroos are concerned. Well, what about this game? There's an old cliche, Mick, that you know when we say a game of 2 halves. Well, this game so far has been that, and half of the first half belonged to the Power and half to the Kangaroos.
Yeah, certainly. Well, actually, the first probably 10 minutes of that second quarter belonged to the Port Adelaide team, but to their credit, the Kangaroos really gained that real resolve that we know they've got. They fought back. And you have a look at the match statistics, they're very even across the board. I think initially it was accentuated the inside 50s. Port Adelaide had controlled the first 8 minutes of play in that second quarter. It was 8 entries to 1. but to the efforts of a lot of the midfielders, as the defence become tighter, the midfield group really was aware that their direct opponents were getting too much of the ball, that being Burgoyne, Kingsley and also Eagleton across centre wing. They tightened up in that part of the ground. They had to. Carey took control in front of goals, kicking 3 from minimal opportunity. But in the end, the Kangaroos are certainly in control of this game. As far as I'm concerned, they'll win this game.
So there we are, just 1 point in it at half-time here at the MCG. Don't forget, on Talking Footy, Robert Harvey. Well, if he could survive Buddha Hocking at Shell Stadium, I'm sure he'll survive Jared, Mike and Terry on the couch. One of the greats of today's game, the dual Brownlow medalist. Who knows, he could make it 3 in a row. The great Saint, Robert Harvey, on the couch, Talking Footy Monday night. A break, the second half, coming up shortly.
Record has been set. Last week, Channel 7 gave away $301,000. Call this number now to register for 7's $1 million chance of a lifetime. Weeknights at 5:30.
Dave the Storeman at Truscott Hi-Fi is trapped by too much stock, which must be cleared before stock take at the end of the month. Out go 34cm TVs from $269, big screen TVs from $699, stereo VCRs from $399, Dolby ProLogic mini systems from $699, and camcorders with a bonus from $798. It all has to go.
Please help.
Truscott's, Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms. Hurry, Dave needs your help.
Help.
Why risk nicks and cuts? Now there's the cool skin from Finishing, with its own creamy shaving emulsion. A wet shave without the blade that's soft on even the most sensitive of skins. The new cool skin from Finishing. Smooth shave or your money back.
To Cape York. Please, stay between the flags.
The Footy Wars. What the 12th man did to cricket, the halfback flankers are doing to footy.
These cretins are taking the mickey out of everything and everyone.
This is Miles, 15.
Oh, no. Me, Rixie.
We've got a lot of boring about Collingwood. Tenacity, perspicacity, and synchronicity.
Centimetre perfect. What do you think? What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think.
Just another day in the commentary box, really? You'd be an idiot not to get a copy. There, can I go now?
Prices are crashing down at Rocker Brothers with great price-busting specials. Check these out.
At Rocker Brothers, 4 convenient fitting and service centres, get a full service and tune-up and get a voucher to have your car cleaned inside and out free.
Don't worry, I won't be doing it.
Buy any 4 Yokohama, Firestone or Falcon tyres and get a wheel alignment for only $14.75. That's half price.
Now, where's that Ferrari they want me to work on?
Well, we're cheaper than the others, so rock to the brothers.
The biggest names in football might not be who you think. See the Stars on 7 live, 7:30 Saturday, June 12th.
Both sides back out on the ground, the Kangaroos and the Power. I'm joined by Drew Morfitt and Mick McGuan. Mick, let's have a look at some of these team stats. A couple of these boys finally got their act together for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, they certainly did, Sandy. And you look at the half-time statistics, Simpson certainly lifted his work rate in that second quarter. He had 7 kicks for a total of 12 and 15 possessions. Kingsley was quite good up forward. His first game for the Kangaroos, number 42. He was quite good, kick 3. Carey kicked 3 also. From Port Adelaide's point of view, their midfield group in Burgoyne, Stevens, Kingsley and also Eagleton, they got a lot of the ball. Stewart drew across half forward. And it's good to see Bowden Lockwood back into this game. 4 kicks for 3 goals.
Let's go down to the boundary line for any news at half-time. The ever-smiling Paul Couch.
Thanks, Sandy, and I thought Malcolm Block could give a good spray, but Dennis Pagan at quarter-time was very, very good at it. He spoke to his players again about being big heads, but also that McKernan and Carey were sensational in that second half of the second quarter. Unfortunately for Port Adelaide, they got 2 important injuries in Franco and Bond.
Yes, they'll certainly miss those 2. Franco's been quite dynamic, but they've got their replacement, so the game goes on. Simpson got a hand to that, but that was all. Kicked up towards the forward line, and Carey almost lost his footing, but recovers, pokes the ball along in front, and cleverly slaps it back to Scholl. Runs out of room, or does he? Yes, he does.
And Sandy, one player that's added a fair amount of difference to this Kangaroos team is young Clayton on centre wing. Shane Clayton, he was recruited from the Brisbane Lions last year. He has fitted into this Kangaroos outfit. There he is on screen. He's had 7 possessions, all in the second quarter, and had the first possession in the third quarter.
Pickett to Harvey. Another throw in.
Could have been nearly out of bounds in the full, couldn't it?
Could have been. There's Harvey. Have a look at this again. Very, very close. Bell, partly smothered. Peter Bell goes again. Slews off the side of the boot. Eagleton should be first to it. Eagleton runs out of defence, but he's going to have to be quick. Kingsley continues to give chase and pressure him, and that was good. Down towards centre wing. Look out, boys, because here comes Byron Pickett. Pickett gives it to Blakey. Blakey goes in towards the forward line. In towards Carey, who seemed to cop one on the fingers there.
What about the chase from young Kingsley?
Fantastic, wasn't it?
Magnificent work there. That's what coaches love to see. Even your teammates love to see that from key forwards, charging out of their forward part of the ground to offer some defensive pressure on the opposition.
Burgoyne from the boundary throw-in, dragged down. He follows up with it. Now Kingsley. Adam Kingsley, an outstanding first half. He's taken it a long way without bouncing. Gets away with it. Right to centre wing. Up towards the attacking 50.